Look, guys, I get it. I understand it. You're probably still a little bit upset about what happened on Sunday Night Football. You're probably a little bit disgusted with the fact that you tied. That's the reason I don't watch soccer, because I hate ties. I think it's a little bit silly that that's a part of the game in the National Football League, but I digress. It's what happened, okay? And there are plenty of reasons to be mad looking back at that game, right? The secondary looked atrocious. Horrible clock management late in that game. Pass rush couldn't really get home despite pressuring Dak Prescott a lot. However, with all those reasons to be mad, I'm going to give you 3 positive takeaways from the tie against the Dallas Cowboys. And then we're going to wrap up today's show. I'm going to tell you what I feel like that means for the rest of the 2025 season and the rest of this Packers year. Hopefully, their quest for a Super Bowl, a quest for the playoffs, and a quest to get back in the win column because they haven't been in there since Thursday Night Football Week 2 against the Commanders. I need you guys to help me out, though. Before we get into that, make sure you are subscribed right now with our season-long sub battle. It's very, very close with Bears now. They're at 3,003 subscribers added. We're at 2,957. Only 46 subscribers behind, and they are a much bigger channel than we are. If you guys have not subscribed, today's the perfect day to do so because it helps us catch up to them, helps us take over them, and helps us prove we got the best fans in the NFC North. Starting off with my first good news coming from Sunday's game against Dallas. It's obvious right now through the first 4 weeks of the season that Jordan Love is playing at an elite level. The only thing he really hasn't done that great is that one interception against Cleveland, but other than that, he's been phenomenal, especially against Dallas. 72% completion percentage, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 118.1. And look, I get it. You look at those statistics and you see what Dallas has done defensively and you say, you know what? He should do that. Well, he did. All righty? He did. And for this entire year, from the pocket, he's been the best quarterback in football. Completion percentage, 87.2%. He's completing almost 90% of his passes from the pocket. Yards per attempt, 10.7. That's the highest. PFF grade, 93.9. That's the highest. His pass rating, 140.3. Second highest among the National Football League, among quarterbacks. This is where you want your quarterback to succeed. From the pocket. I get it. It's good to be good against the blitz. That helps a ton. You're going to see a lot of pressure in the National Football League. But if you don't have a quarterback that excels from passing in the pocket, then you don't have a quarterback. It's plain and simple. That's where they're going to be the vast majority of the time. And right now, through the first 4 weeks of the season, Jordan Love is the best quarterback from the pocket. It's much more sustainable, right? That's where you're going to see the most of your success. That's where you're going to see most of your attempts. So the fact that right now, again, the first quarter of the year, Jordan Love's the best at it, I think that's something positive we can take away from Dallas and something positive we can talk about and, kind of hope in moving forward in this season. Be the teacher. Grade Jordan Love for me in 2025 so far. A, B, C, D, or F. If you take away the pick against Cleveland, he's at like an A+ level. But obviously with that might drop him down to like an A-. Still, I'm giving him an A. You let me know in the comment section. Number 2, second thing we got to talk about today. Darrian Kinnard is stepping up big time. Okay? It's no lie that Zach Tom going down one play into week 3 was a really big blow. Right? He injured that oblique, and you wanted to give him some rest. He got some rest. He comes back and gets injured right away again. So we looked at Darrian and we said, look, you've got to step up. Now you are rushed into that starting spot, and this was a guy you signed just like a month and a half ago, months ago at that. And he played phenomenally against Dallas. This was the first time this season that he's seen 15 or more snaps. And he was incredible. Overall PFF grade of 74.8. Look at that run blocking grade, 88.8. The pass blocking grade could use a little bit of work, but still, I'll take a 63.1 from a guy who you just got in and who just got rushed into the starting lineup because Zach Tom got injured. That run blocking grade right there, that is elite. Okay, that is elite. That's almost a 90. We don't know how long Tom is out. That right now is still up in the air. I'd imagine it's probably going to be 1 week after the bye week that he'll come back. So I'm targeting maybe Arizona in my mind. Regardless, having a guy in Darrian that you know can step in and not just even things out, not just be good enough, but be really, really phenomenal. That's such a weight off of Matt LaFleur's shoulders, such a weight off of Jordan Love's shoulders, because we know this offensive line hasn't really been good. Well, now I got a lot of confidence in the right tackle depth that we have. And what's so phenomenal is we know that this team runs on running the football. That's how this offense goes. It's got to stay balanced. So having your right tackle in there, that's your backup right tackle at that, be so great in run blocking, sign me up for that any day, okay? Speaking of Sunday's game, I want to ask you guys this question because we've been debating it in the office. Do you think the NFL should have ties? Give me a yes or give me a no. I don't think they should. I think it's incredibly stupid. But you let me know in the comments section. I want to hear your answer. I also want to hear you guys clicking that link, chatsports.com/gbpolo, because it's going to take you to this polo right here, this collared shirt right here, and you'll be able to check out and get it for just $33. It was $55. They dropped it down $22. Now it's only $33. If your closet needs an upgrade, if your wardrobe needs an upgrade, if you need something new to wear to work, play golf, to the bars, to church, to I don't know where, if you're meeting your father-in-law for the first time ever, he's a big Packers fan, you want to look good but also win a little bit of favor with him, get this polo, $33, chatsports.com/gbpolo. That link's in the comments and description of today's video. The last thing we're going to talk about, Josh Jacobs, he's going to be okay. All right, he's going to be A-okay. And I think it was really, I don't want to say nerve-wracking, but it had you debating, thinking a little bit, once you saw him kind of in and out of the game on Sunday. He was asked about it after, and he said, the touchdown, I guess I got cleated. I don't know. I went back to the sideline, saw a big hole in my knee, so I got stitches. Yeah, that was it. And I think that's really, really relieving for me. Okay? This is fantastic because once you see him kind of touching that knee, guys looking at that knee, you kind of get nervous that it's something far more serious than a hole in your knee that needs stitches. Now, I'm not saying that's not serious. I would not trade places with Josh Jacobs if you asked me to. But regardless, I'll take this injury over anything that has to do with an ACL, an MCL, a meniscus, or anything soft tissue. Give me a hole in the knee all day long, okay? He played phenomenal against Dallas. 22 carries, 86 rush yards, 3.9 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. He also was phenomenal in the passing game as well, okay? My final thoughts before I send this off. Was this the game you wanted? No. Not by a long shot. I, for one, expected to go into Dallas and dominate them. But there's still plenty of good to take from this to be confident in Green Bay moving forward. There's still some things to figure out for sure. Got to still figure out that offensive line. Still got to figure out that secondary. Okay? But still, there was a lot of good that I saw and a lot I think you should still be excited about. Coming up, you got some big matchups, obviously. On the road against the Cardinals, on the road against the Steelers. Those are 2 games to look at, especially Week 8. But coming out of the bye, you get the Bengals, you get them at home with a backup quarterback. That's a game you got to win. Same with Week 9 against the Panthers at home. They're horrible this year. That's a game you got to win, okay? I think if you can go 3-1 in this stretch, obviously I'd love 4-0, but if you give me 3-1 in this stretch and you can be 5-2-1 after the first 9 weeks of the season, I'd be incredibly happy with that, and I think it's very, very possible. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you guys got me followed on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm everywhere. Find me, follow me, and if you have not subscribed yet and you're still watching, you like what we got going on here, I'll just lock us in for daily coverage, all 100% free right here on the Packers Report.